do wonder whether Pep needs to be kidnapped or you need to shoot him down.
Ship him off.
Wow.
Get some players, just kidnap them out.
And welcome to the final week of the English Premier League season with the global award-winning podcast Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Chia and Keong. And we have back with us after the first episode of this season.
Yep.
We have Shasi Kumar.
It's been a long time, man.
Long time, man.
But
Give him a build-up. The legend.
That's right. Football podcaster.
When you guys called me up for this time around, and I was thinking, it seemed like just only like last week or something like that, But it's been one season,
one whole season.
And what was your prediction, Neil?
My prediction, I think, was your boys Arsenal.
Yeah.
I
believe so.
And yours was as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I probably said West Ham would be crap. So
probably that's true. That's
so I got that
true.
right.
Yeah.
I got that right. Yeah. But other than that, if you don't know, Shasi has the best Singapore Premier League related podcast in Singapore. Do you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Well, it's called the Silver Fox Hustle podcast, and it's the football talk episodes, and we just speak anything about local football. And
that's
so happy to be talking to players, coaches, and it's been
very
fun.
Insightful comment.
Thank you, guys.
It's good stuff, really good stuff. So do check that out, and thank you as always for checking out our podcast. Comments, viewers, listeners, week on week, figures are up. So thank you so much. It's because of you that we won a global award and have a sponsor in StarHub.
Yep, StarHub. Now that the season's over, the football is not over yet. There's still the Euro 2024 to come. So if you want to subscribe with StarHub to watch all the games live, it costs $88 until 26th of May. If you sign up before 26th of May, it's $88. After 26th of May, it's $108. So you got
sign up. He's doing his uncle thing. Uncle thing.
Sign up. Okay.
Uncle mode.
Yeah.
I mean, how many games? 51. So it's only $1 something plus a game, right?
Fair enough.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, sign up. Get the early bird special. And speaking of StarHub, Han Keong and I,
during the weekend,
correct, went down to do our special vodcast live at Marina Bay Sands Ballroom.
So we have been promoting this for a while, the Football for All Carnival, where they showed all 10 of the final match week,
huge
of
screens,
the Premier League. It was amazing, quite a wonderful experience we had.
Well, I was sskeptical in the sense that the ballroom is huge, and I thought if you get pockets of fans here, pockets of fans there, it may look a bit. 8,000 people turned up.
Amazing.
Now, if you could all turn up for the Singapore Premier League games as well, we'd appreciate that. Just putting it out there. Putting it out there.
We got a very good crowd, and then
great crowd.
The atmosphere was quite nice, especially during the passages when it seems like Manchester City were about to could not win the game, and Arsenal could do something. There was that kind of tension.
There were 10 screens.
10 screens showing 10 games.
But the lousier games they put at them.
Don't say that. But it is true. It is true.
So we quietly laugh at that.
I want to give a shout out to some of my Holgung Halls cuckies who turned up wearing the Holgung jerseys.
They did.
Bringing the Holgung scarves. I thought that was absolutely
the atmosphere
fabulous.
was fantastic.
So the Singapore Premier League was well represented.
Yeah, it's a good experience.
It was. And here's a look now at some of the highlights.
We did a live podcast there. So here's a look at some of the highlights of the podcast.
Enjoy.
We're going to talk about best team. Best team first?
Best team.
Right, best team of the season. Who thinks your team was the best team of the season? Well, I'll do mine, then you do yours.
Okay.
In October, I thought it was Tottenham. Where's the booing? There it is. I thought it was Tottenham because I love the football. I love handball, very attacking. They don't defend. They play out from the goalkeeper. They lose the ball. They concede a goal. Love it. So Tottenham first. Then when it was about the Carabao Cup final, your team,
Liverpool.
I thought Liverpool were going to be the team of the season. Right. They were overachieving with their academy graduates. But today, as we stand here right now, my favourite team, best team
has to be
of the season is
Arsenal.
Luton. No, I'm kidding. Arsenal. Arsenal. As we stand here now, because Saliba for me has been the defender of the season. Declan Rice, unbelievable, even though they stole him from West Ham.
Typical Hammers.
And I just like the way they're slightly punching above their weight. I think they've been a breath of fresh air for the title. What about you?
Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so naturally I always thought my team is the best.
Yep.
But even this season, I have to give it to Arsenal as the team of the season because, firstly, all the players have overachieved. All the players have played consistently 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 throughout the season.
Agree.
Last season, they just came up short. Now they are potentially, there's a small chance they still can snatch it away
Yeah.
from Man City.
Man City are playing West Ham.
Yeah,
You know
that,
right?
that's small.
Okay.
0.1%.
Okay.
But still a chance. They are still keeping the faith, right, Arsenal fans?
Are they keeping the faith, Arsenal fans? Are you keeping the faith?
And that's what you want for team of the season,
Yeah.
right? To be in contention right until the end of the season. All the players, I find very little fault with them.
Yep.
All have played their part to make this season a particularly memorable one.
All right, we'll do the fun part now. The worst team of the season.
Divert attention there.
All right, I think we're going to agree. My worst team of the season is also, in a weird way, my favourite team of the season. Can you see where I'm going with
Yeah,
this?
all fun one. Comedy.
Manchester United, obviously. For the sheer comedy value alone, they should give Eric Ten Hag...
Every week you laugh at them, you smile at them, you find so much joy in them.
When you look at Anthony, you just laugh.
Yeah.
When you look at Eric Ten Hag, you just laugh.
Yeah.
They should be giving Eric Ten Hag a 10-year contract just to make everybody else laugh.
Well, I have another team which
Who's yours?
gets on my nerves.
Everton?
Everton, aside from Everton, they're perennial.
Manchester United?
Chelsea.
They're your worst team of the season?
Yeah.
Okay,
For
what?
one of them, I mean,
Okay.
close tie with Manchester United.
Okay.
Because, spend millions of dollars. Mildred, Hernandez, Caicedo,
Yep. Casado, yeah.
whatever. And then they're still struggling most of the time in the mid-table, losing badly. Only recently, in recent weeks, you've got one Cole Palmer trying to lift the team a bit.
Yeah.
That is the only reason why I think they are slightly better than Manchester United.
All right, let's do the best player. Who has been the best player of the season? Let's get some audience feedback. Let's shout out
Best
your
player?
answer. Who's been your best player of the season?
Darwin Núñez.
Someone over there said mine.
Say what?
Someone over there said mine. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
You go first?
No prejudice, no bias. How much was Declan Rice signed for? 105,
105,
right? 105? He is worth at least double that now. Declan Rice is the signing of the season. Every great team in history needed a key player to transform them. Eric Cantona at Manchester United transformed their team. Alisson at Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool, Kasper Schmeichel and Jamie Vardy at Leicester City.
Yep.
Declan Rice is that player for Arsenal. He is the complete midfielder. He's added goals to his game. He pushes forward much more than he did when he was at West Ham. And he didn't care about the price tag. He didn't care that he was playing Champions League football for the first time.
Right.
Straight in, player of the season, Declan Rice.
Wonderful.
What about you?
I mean, I agree on most parts on you, but I do feel there is another player. I think Declan Rice, obviously great player, transformative to the Arsenal team.
Yep.
But the whole Arsenal team still need to be playing as well as they did. So he's not exactly the standout performer of that Arsenal team.
Okay.
That's what I feel. So many other, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli.
Yep.
So, but this player in a potentially title-winning squad has been the spark throughout the season. When Kevin De Bruyne went down,
Yep.
he lifted the club, kept the club going, kept the machine going.
I think your one is my second one.
Second one,
Go on.
it's very close.
Yeah.
Phil Foden.
Yeah, Phil Foden. Good
Phil
shout.
Foden
Yep.
of Manchester City.
Anyone agree with Phil Foden, Manchester City, player of the season? Phil
Yep.
Foden. Okay, they like that
Yeah,
one.
they like that one. Yeah,
Not
give them
Calvin
both.
Phillips.
Oh, wonderful player.
He's still a Manchester City player, isn't he?
Was it
West Ham on loan.
Oh, gone West Ham.
Yeah. So Phil Foden.
Yeah, Phil Foden, I think, nicks it for me.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Now we will move on to the worst player. You should be up here.
You are the
should be
best
up here.
critics. You're the best analyst, man. All
Best
the best
audience ever.
Best audience. All
Best
football
audience
mind.
ever.
All got football mind.
Simple equation. Simple story. Picture the scene. Picture the scene. Erik ten Hag is now manager of Ajax. He's looking at his young players. He's got this young boy called Anthony. He's got this young boy called Mohamed Kudus. They are both the same players. They are both playing for Ajax.
Yep.
He goes to Manchester United and he signs Anthony for 70-something... 85 million pounds. This guy called Kudus goes to West Ham, is their player of the season with 13 goals, I think.
Yep.
He was 30-something million, if I'm not wrong, 30-something. So Erik ten Hag looks at Kudus, looks at Anthony and thinks,
Anthony.
that one. I would not trust that man with any signing
To be
ever
fair,
again.
if you see Anthony in Ajax jersey, he was quite spectacular. lah.
Yeah.
He was good, but once he puts on the Manchester
One-footed
United
player. One-footed player.
jersey,
Yeah.
something changed. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing he does works.
Yeah.
Nothing he tries works out.
Yep.
Nothing he does makes the team better in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a runaway winner. lah,
So you agree, Anthony?
Yeah.
All right, let's ask the audience. Do you agree? Worst player of the season? Is it Anthony? This is easy. This is easy. Right, let's move on to the issue of the season, one that's going to be discussed soon with the English Premier League clubs. VAR.
I think the crowd...
Let's answer the question already. VAR. All right, we'll ask you first. VAR. Should it be scrapped? Yes or no? What, majority?
Well, some don't know.
Vast
I hear a
majority.
bit of no. lah.
Yeah, but it was only like
majority
10%.
one, yes.
10%.
Yeah.
It was like Workers' Party minority, not a big minority.
Okay.
Small minority.
Minority.
VAR.
Yeah.
VAR. Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Goal
I mean-
line technology, keep.
Yep.
There's no issue with that.
Because it's black and white.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
And in the past, many of the big decisions, I'm thinking of Frank Lampard in the World Cup a
Yep.
few years ago, there were others. Goal line technology has always been the most problematic decision. It's the easiest to fix.
Yeah. And it works most of the time.
It works all the time.
Because, yeah.
VAR is still the same as the old system where it relies on human error, but now the human error has been moved up into Stockley Park, into this room.
Now there are more humans doing it, and so
Yep.
there are more errors.
Yep.
More errors being brought in. And now it comes to a point that now the referee doesn't trust himself anymore.
Yep.
The referee I'll leave it to the VAR to make the decision.
Yep.
And every game there's a delay, there's 10 minutes of injury time.
Yep.
And then the whole game stops, wait for the VAR. And VAR will take ages in drawing the red line, drawing the offside line.
Yep.
I mean, the whole game is just sex at that point. And then,
Couldn't agree more.
So
VAR should be scrapped for two reasons, right? Two reasons. The first reason is because of you. The fans are the most important people in football, and we cannot keep forgetting that without the fans, football is nothing in any country, in any league,
Absolutely.
anywhere in the world.
Look at the crowd here.
Fans should not be on hold. Tonight, if a goal goes in and it says go to VAR, you all have to put your emotions on hold. That is not what sport is supposed to be.
No.
Sport is supposed to be about spontaneous eruptions of joy.
Absolutely.
And VAR is taking it away. For that reason alone, scrap VAR. Do you guys agree? They like it. I like this crowd.
Yeah,
they
I like this
agree.
crowd. Yeah,
VAR
football
has
mind.
got
Football mind.
to go. Right. All right, let's get your guy done.
Manager.
Manager of the season. Who's your manager of the season? Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Moyes, I heard a few.
David Moyes.
David Moyes at the back.
Wow.
Comedians at the back. David
Comedians,
Moyes.
yeah.
All right, go on.
For
you
me,
go.
I mean, he's the story of the season. So I have to give to Jurgen Klopp. Yep. So I know I'm biased.
That's classic pandering to the Liverpool fans.
No,
That's classic
that's not pandering. That's the truth. Okay.
Go on,
Okay.
Ed. Go on.
You know, start off the season as a rebuilding project. somehow manages to lift the team towards title contention,
Yep.
even when there's a major injury crisis.
Yep.
We got the youngsters came in, slot in pretty seamlessly, and continues to challenge for a title right until April. Then, Liverpool always got 1 month where they completely screw things up. So April is the month where they screw things up, but it's not Klopp's fault.
Nope.
And right now, after 9 years of battling with Manchester City for the title, he also, it is fitting that this end of season thing, half of it is about his last match with Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
I think for all he has given to the league over his 9 years in Liverpool, I think it gives him the. He's the figurehead, the story of the season.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think the point you made there is so important. What he's done for the league. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I just try to be objective. If you take Jurgen Klopp out of the English Premier League for the last 9 years, Manchester City win every single title comfortably since about 2017. It becomes a one-horse, no race,
horse
a
race.
farmers' league, right? Now, we could get into the whole world. It's becoming that already. But if you take Jurgen Klopp out of the equation, you've lost the jeopardy, you've lost the excitement, you've lost the spontaneity, you've also lost the personality.
Yep.
Because whatever you may think of Jose Mourinho, we've lost a little bit of something.
Yep.
He was the pantomime villain. He's gone. Now you've lost Jurgen Klopp. I tell you, he is, Liverpool fans, big statement, Jurgen Klopp is the greatest Liverpool manager since Roy Hodgson. I'm just kidding. Greatest Liverpool manager since Bill Shankly.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I put him up there with Bill Shankly.
Yep.
Bill Shankly rebuilt the club. Paisley, Dalglish, Fagan, they sustained the same club.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp has rebuilt the club.
Rebuilt and revived the club.
Rebuilt the club. So for me, Jurgen Klopp, manager of the season. All right. Anyone agree or disagree? Jurgen Klopp, manager of the season. There's just more Liverpool fans.
More Liverpool fans.
So welcome back to Yahoo Footballing Weekly. Right, the season is now over. Manchester City surprised no one, won the title, but it did go to the final day of the season between Manchester City and Arsenal. Let's do Manchester City first. What are your thoughts?
What more can we say? 4 in a row is such a magnificent achievement. It's definitely going to go down in history. First time in English football top flight history. 4 wins in 4 titles in a row. Obviously, they are like a machine that cannot stop winning. Can just keep chugging along. At such a high level. And credit to Pep Guardiola for keeping them consistently at that high level. The standards are always there. There's never a steep decline, steep drop in the standards. Fine for Manchester City. Congratulations. But you get the feeling that it becomes like a Groundhog Day, long Groundhog Day. It's like yes, Man City win. 9 months, Man City win. We want a bit of drama, a bit of messiness, a bit of like unpredictability. It used to be you can argue that Manchester United were also dominant in the decades before, but this one really seems inevitable. Seems like there's no bump in the road for Manchester City's dominance, even though Liverpool and Arsenal did magnificently, push them all the way. You can look at it that way. That even though Arsenal had a brilliant season, Liverpool overachieved this season, and then they still lose to Manchester City. That's one way to look at it, the half empty way. The half full way, I would say, is there is actually 2 sides capable of challenging Manchester City this season, making it a 3-horse race. And the hope is that other teams can get their act together quickly enough, and at least join in the race. Even more teams joining the race, and that would be a bit more pressure on Manchester City.
Yeah. What do you think,
Yeah.
Sashi?
Yeah, I think they are just monsters, mentality monsters. There were a period of time when you thought that, hey, I think they're going to slip up. Those games against Arsenal as well, they managed to draw here and there, and then they won that game as well with a deflected goal. But somehow, after they lose a game, they just come back. They come back straight up, and it's just that mentality monsters. And if you've watched those documentaries on the team, Man City, you have players taking responsibility. Not only Pep. You see in the dressing room, you've got people like Rodri going in there and taking over the dressing room. Speaking and getting the players up for it. And you need that. And they've been doing this consistently. And it's not only Pep, right? We can talk all day long about Pep. He's just class, and it's not his fault that they're winning. He's just class. He's genius. And the only think, or the only reason why the other teams are not winning it is because they've set themselves that standard, that consistency, that you need a little bit of luck as well to win it. This time, like Arsenal, they've I'm so proud of the team, but it's so bittersweet, right? They've gone that far, and you come and meet these monsters, and you do wonder whether Pep needs to be kidnapped or you need to shoot him down,
Ship him off.
Wow.
Get some players, just kidnap them out.
No, I agree with that. Look, I agree with everything you've both said. I just feel that Manchester City, when we talk about them now, there needs to be so many caveats. There's always a but coming with Manchester City.
Yeah.
Phil Foden, player of the season, team of the season, manager of the season. But, cliche alert, I really felt this was the season of two halves. Before Christmas, it was messy. It was Tottenham were doing all kinds of nonsense with Ange ball, and Arsenal were flying, and then Liverpool were flying with their academy kids, and Manchester City wobbled. And then in the new year, it really felt almost patronisingly that Manchester City were like, okay, boys, thanks, kids.
Yep.
We'll take it from here.
Yep.
Never really, be frank now, never really needed to get out of second or third gear.
23 match unbeaten. 23 matches
But
unbeaten.
that to me is a concern.
Yeah.
Because I think even your most diehard Manchester City fan would say, not great. They never needed to be great. And that's not a criticism of Arsenal at all, or Liverpool. You could argue both of those teams are overachieved. It's just that the gulf is so wide between Manchester City and the rest. They're already, look, Paqueta was playing for West Ham, right? Didn't play particularly well, but he's linked to Manchester City. They'll buy him just to put him on the bench, just so that no other team can have him. Like they did with Jack Grealish, like they did with other players. Jack Grealish never even got off the bench. Nor did John Stones. Didn't need to. Yeah. The gulf is too wide for me. And the other thing about Manchester City, I know you were saying earlier about, history judge Manchester City, their achievements. I don't think history can judge Manchester City until they've been judged in court.
Oh, yeah.
That's when history will make its decision. Because those 115 charges, guilty or not guilty, they're still innocent as we sit here.
Yep.
But guilty or not guilty, the delay was too long. When you see that Everton have been charged and found guilty, and Forest also found guilty, whatever happens now, people are going to think, but they had the best lawyers to delay it, to kick the can down the road. It just leaves a sour taste when there doesn't need to be one. The football should speak for itself. That's my only issue with Manchester City.
Yeah, but you're right about the 115 charges, and it hasn't been dealt with. That's the main concern anyway. But football wise, I think they've been
untouchable.
And players coming in and to do the job as well, like Foden this season, he's been wow. And I saw some stats in terms of the progress that he's made in terms of goal scoring. He's just, the numbers has just gone up, And then certain players like Ake and all these players, John Stone last season, he was in a defensive mid position.
Yep.
So he does things with his players that no one just thinks of, Pep Guardiola, and that's him. That's the genius of Pep Guardiola.
And then if he's not happy with a player, he's gone. He's
gone.
Cancelo.
Yeah,
he's just
and
gone.
there's another person coming up in the ranks. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
brilliant.
that they have that ability to bring in a player, firstly with the money that they've got, firstly, right? But then they've got the other teams have to deal with Pep Guardiola then doing something with the teams, the way they play. And obviously next season they're going to come up with something else. I don't know. First it was the inverted fullback, and then I don't know what's going to happen next season. He's going to tweak something which is so minor but other teams can't get a hold of. So it looks like
I agree.
It looks like it's going to be the fifth one next season.
What can we do?
I don't know if it's great for English football, but we can discuss that. I'll just give you a shout. Phil Foden, you were right. Player of the season. I went with Declan Rice, but I just think the last day of the season, that's the difference. That's your mentality monster.
Exactly.
Declan Rice didn't play badly, but Phil Foden just took the game by the scruff of the neck, did what champions have to do, broke down West Ham, killed it off. So just brilliant from Phil Foden. Right, let's get to Arsenal then. I'll jump straight in. I said this before. Terrific season, Arsenal. Progress, no doubt, ticked all the boxes. But for me, Arsenal, and it's easy to look with hindsight, 2020 vision, Arsenal lost the title on December the 23rd when they lost at home to West Ham 2-0, despite having 3 times as many shots, 3 times the passes, 75% possession, because that showed me the difference between having a clinical number 9 and not having a clinical number 9. I know they dropped other points subsequently and so on, but it's those fine margins that someone like Pep looked at previously and said, that's why we need Haaland. And that's why Arteta will go into the transfer market and say, that cannot happen again. Because frankly speaking, everybody scores against West Ham. Everybody. If you're going to win a title, you have to score against West Ham. That's job one. 3 points. If they took those 3 points December 23rd, we're talking a different season.
And something was so it just tells you something about what Arteta's going to do, because Jesus stayed on the bench yesterday till I don't know what 75th, 80th minute, and he brought in Emil Rowe when they were still needing that goal. He brought in some other players and not Jesus, and then Jesus came in later on, and then he was instrumental in getting that second goal. But you're right about that striker, and I'm happy that all the players contributed in terms of scoring goals. Havertz was good. When he first joined, I thought, hold on a minute.
We all did.
I don't think he's the one. But listen, he's been great for Arsenal. You talk about Saka, Trossard coming in with good goals, Declan Rice as well. Brilliant. They've been brilliant. But you're right about a goal scoring. You need that someone who's going to score at least 20 to 25 goals as a striker, as a main striker. And that's what they didn't have. And going back to the West Ham result as well, there are moments in the season, and you're right about West Ham. I also thought that the Newcastle game where the ball went out firstly, and then the foul on Gabriel. But so those were the moments, and obviously people talk about the Aston Villa one, the recent one. I don't think that was necessarily the case as well. You look at the form as well, and I as an Arsenal fan, I'm shocked as well with the form that they've had. I'm so proud, but at the same time, you saw them yesterday after the game. You look at Declan Rice, you look at Arteta, they're just shattered. What's there to celebrate, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And they look down, but let's hope for Arsenal's sake that they progress, because after last season, I was worried. They finished second. But after the way they bottled, that was a real bottle job last season. This wasn't. No. So you can see that, he's making progress. But, shout out to Arteta as well. I think what a signing he has been for Arsenal.
True. My only concern is that I can't see an out-and-out clinical striker available on the markets right now that Arsenal can immediately target and go for.
Well, there is one, and
it's not Darwin Núñez.
No, because when we talk about Villa, I was going to bring it up. Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is being linked with everybody. Arsenal, Manchester United.
And Newcastle's Isak as well.
Isak is very good as well. So, we'll see what happens with them. All right, let's get on to your boys. Liverpool. The world's longest goodbye. I think Frank Sinatra
from January. Goodbye.
Frank Sinatra's goodbye was shorter than Jurgen Klopp's.
Oh, for sure, man.
What did you think?
I mean, it was an emotional finish to the season. Well, everybody said, could it have been better? I think we have overachieved. Liverpool have overachieved throughout the season. At the start of the season, everybody said they are in a season of rebuilding. The Henderson and the midfield has gone. New guys coming in, they might take some time to be good again. But they've done it in double quick time. And obviously the expectation grew immensely, and then there was talk of even a quadruple. But realistically, we always thought that it might be a bit unrealistic. So sending him off, I think it's safe to say that the footballing world will miss Jurgen Klopp, not just Liverpool fans. I feel that he has been a fighter against the coldness of football. You know, nowadays football is so much about winning titles. It's only fun if you win. You know, there's a lot of social media statistics everywhere, so that the armchair social media critic can bring up a statistic and say, Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp lost too many finals and this and that. But I don't think winning is on the it's on the mind of Jurgen Klopp. It's not the prime priority of Jurgen Klopp. I think what he wants is to bring a bit of humanity, a bit of joy to the club that he runs. I mean,
there's a simple counter argument to that anyway, which is that Liverpool were not winning before Klopp arrived. Manchester City were winning before Guardiola arrived. So he completely transformed the club.
That's more than that. It's more than that. That's why he connects so well with the fans. We know when he first came in, he didn't say, I want to win how many titles, I want to win this. And he said, I want to turn doubters into believers. That in one fell swoop. And then his masterstroke is saying, well, I'm the normal one. So it's normal for people to turn doubters into believers. And from that onwards, it is a connection of the human side of fan of being a fans and supporters. It's not about winning. Winning titles is important, but it's not the primary thing. The thing is to bring joy to the fan base in Liverpool, and that's why he's so special.
Yeah. I
think he's just genuine as a person. You know, you look at his interviews. He's just a genuine person, and I think the Liverpool haters will say, one league title in nine seasons, one Champions League only, this and that. But I think the way he's gone about doing the business, I think that's key as well. The charisma, and you know, there was a certain period of time when Liverpool were just playing on auto mode. There's no way you're gonna, you know, and I think Jose Mourinho was saying as well, you know, we can't keep up with Robertson on the left and Trent on the right, and they're just going crazy when he was at Man U or something like that. So it's just Klopp, you know, and you know, he's the way he said his goodbyes as well. You know, there's nothing wrong or nothing bad to say about him. You know, I'm an Arsenal fan and I love him.
Well, I would just say, I will put the football team aside for a moment and just say, Klopp, there are two groups who really need to thank Klopp. The rest of the English Premier League, objectively, if you take Klopp out of the equation, it's a Manchester City monopoly throughout. They win every single season since 2017 at a canter, right? If you take Klopp away, that's no good to anybody, objectively. Number two, what he did for the city. He understands working class people. The Dortmund thing helps. Dortmund was also a blue collar, industrial, river city in the shadow of Munich, in the way that Liverpool is often in the shadow of London and Manchester. He gets that industrial port city vibe. He gets the working class community. Just build the man's bloody statue. Start building it. Get it built now, because he deserves it. By far the best since Shankly.
Best since Shankly, and my wife loves his teeth.
Oh, he's got unbelievable teeth.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
All right, let's just do a quick word. Let's do a quick word on Manchester United for our Manchester United fans out there. What did you make of it in the end?
A
mess?
What a
improving?
messy season. I mean, last season they were third, and everybody thought, we'll challenge for the title next. It's been the absolute opposite. It's been like the dysfunctional qualities of that club just overrode any kind of progress. Yeah, you can argue that Erik ten Hag suffered injuries, a lot of injuries, crisis. You know, that he couldn't get his best squad in. Even so, there should be an identity that could have formulated. There should be a clear attacking plan that is, you know, sound attacking plan for that matter. But his attacking plan is so porous, so easily beaten. That you know, like everything is, why should he continue on with his job? It's a very valid question, and I don't know. He still has the FA Cup to contend with. Good luck against Man City. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of talk that, you know, people should replace Erik ten Hag. But what's next? The club is still as dysfunctional as ever.
Which is the key point I was going to make to Manchester United fans, which is don't fall for this Newcastle syndrome, which is any owner is better than the last owner. If you remember Newcastle, anybody is better than Mike Ashley, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the Saudis in, and then there's a whole other issue to deal with. I see this with Manchester United, because I saw an interview this week with Jim Radcliffe that he did on Sky. Gotta say, not very impressed. The things he said about Brexit, the things he said about immigrants, the things he said about foreigners, I was a little bit like, really? This is the guy you're going to let have day-to-day running of your club? And lest we forget, Glazers haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah,
they're still in charge. They're still taking their dividends. The stadium is still falling down. They are not investing anywhere like what they should for a club of Manchester United's stature. I don't see a great change in Manchester United next season. Happy to be proven wrong, but I can't see it.
Yeah, and again, where do we start with Man U, right? It's a difficult one as well. And we talk about Erik ten Hag as well. It's you would expect a style of play, at least, the way they play. Where do you start defending from? How do you attack? And it's they're all over the shop. It seems like they're just going out there and okay, you go ahead and play and see how it pans out. That seems to be like how it is, when you go and see Man U play. So that's the problem with me as well in terms of the football wise. And some of the players, and I think, who was it? Or was it Rooney who came out and said that those players are not injured? That is the worst
that's
criticism you can get
Yep.
of you as a player. You are just feigning injury. That's the worst. And if that's the case, then it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is really ridiculous.
All right, let's run down the line. Quick prediction for the FA Cup final.
Oh. I can't see Man U winning. I can't see Man U winning.
I still like Højlund. I think he's at the wrong club, but I like him.
Yeah.
I think he'll score. I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester City. Højlund scores for Man U.
4-1 Manchester City.
2-0 Man City.
All right, brilliant. And let us know what you think of the FA Cup final and the season that has just played out. Send all of your comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on X, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Quick last shout out. What's your highlight of the season? If you pick one highlight, I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Happened yesterday. Manchester City doing what Manchester City do. And who scores the goal of the game, if not the goal of the season? Kudos. Step up, my friend.
Wow.
Take
Bicycle
a foul.
kick.
That's how you do a bicycle kick.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Enjoy it while you can, because he's probably going to get bought by Manchester City now. So, as always, just to sit on their bench.
Okay. For me, I just got a 99th minute. We were on the ropes. I'm not saying on the ropes. We were trying hard. Liverpool trying so hard not to score against Forest, and up steps Darwin Núñez. Misunderstood all season,
And he missed again.
Score the winner! Come on! I think that was one that made me jump out on my seat.
Darwin Núñez.
And just scream loudly.
The Mikel Antonio School of Finishing.
Wow.
Right, quick, your one.
Mine has got to be about West Ham again. Your team.
Okay.
Declan Rice scoring against them.
Oh,
What a finish. Brilliant finish.
That's to spoil it, doesn't it? He has to spoil it. Last minute of the show.
Shut him sharp.
He has to spoil it. Well, thanks for that, Shasi. Thanks for joining the show. Do stay with us in part 2. Shasi Kumar, former Singapore Premier League football and podcaster, will join us and get stuck into all things local football. So we'll see you there.
See you.